Hello everyone. So in this tutorial series, we're going to be building an e-commerce website using Django, Bootstrap, HTML, and CSS. We'll be using the material design Bootstrap e-commerce template for that. And so to get started, all you need to do is head over to the extensions marketplace, and you'll need a bunch of extensions. So just search for the Django, and in here you need Django IntelliSense, so make sure you have that installed correctly, and Django template and Django snippets. So make sure you have all those extensions installed, and what these do is they just make your life easier in writing your code faster and cleaner. So to get started, I'll open the terminal and type in Django-admin start project. So Django-admin start project, then I'll call it ecom in our current folder. So there we have our project ecom. Then I'll just do python manage.py start up. Then I'll call our app catalog. You can call it anything, so I'll call mine catalog. And inside our ecom, we can head over to the settings. So this is our catalog app. Inside our ecom settings, we need to include that catalog app. So let me minimize that, and probably we can get rid of those comments there. And inside our installed apps, we need to add that catalog app. So again, I'll make the migrations and run the server. So Python, you can do Python manage.py migrate. That should run all migrations. And Python manage.py create super user, and I'll give them a name, an address, password, and we can go ahead and run the server. So manage.py run server. So we have our server running there. Can minimize that, close the settings. So inside our catalog app, we are going to define the basic data structure for our entire application. So inside the models, go ahead and get rid of that comment. So we'll have basically three models: the item, the order item, and the order. So essentially, we will be having an order item which will link to that specific order, and the order is linked to the currently logged in user. So the item model will be linked to the order item itself. So instead of talking too much, let's go ahead and create those models. I'll start with the item, which will just be models model. Then I'll just say pass for now. Then I'll do the order item. So order item, same thing, models.model, pass for now. And then I'm just creating the models themselves. So our order, which will be exactly the same, which is models.model. And inside our order, we'll have a user which is associated with that specific order. So to do that, to associate the user with that specific order, we'll need to import the user model from Django contrib. So from Django.contrib.auth.models, we need to import the user model. So we have that user model imported there. So the user for a specific order will be a foreign key, to that user model, then an on delete. So on delete just be models dot cascade. So we have that user, and essentially for an order we need to know if it's ordered yet or not. An order needs to have a start date, an order date, and so we'll have an ordered field here, so which by default it will be false. So models dot boolean field, and we say default equals to false. We'll have a start date, so start date, which will just be a models dot date time field, and we can say auto now add equals to true. We can also have an ordered date, so ordered underscore date, which is just going to be a date time field, but we don't need to pass in auto now equals to true because we'll need to create that order date when the order is ordered. So we can go ahead and define the string method. So then we just return self.user dot username there. So for the order item, the order will have a many-to-many relationship with that order item, so we can that items field in here. So items will be a models dot many-to-many field with that order item. So order item like that, and this needs to be a y, so many-to-many field with that order item. And in here the order item will be linked to the item, so we'll have an item field which is going to be a foreign key. So models dot foreign key to the item model, and we need to specify an on delete. So on delete will just be models dot cascade. So models dot cascade there, and the order item also needs to have a user and an ordered field, so we can specify the same thing here. And then we can also specify the same thing there. So we have that user ordered, and for the order item, since we are passing in the item to the order item, it is in the order item where we'll need to specify the quantity of that specific item. So we'll have a quantity field, quantity, which will just be an integer field, so models dot integer field, and we pass in the default as being just one, and I'll return string there. So copy that, paste it there, define string. Here we'll need to return an f string, so we need to return self dot quantity, then we say of self dot item dot title. So inside the item is where we define the title of that specific object or that specific item. So title, which is just going to be a models dot character field, and in there we can say maximum length as being, let's say, 200 for now. Then we'll need a price, so price, which is just going to be models dot, let's say, integer field, and we can use decimal field for this. So we'll have a price and then a discount price. So duplicate that one and say discount price, which is also being an integer field, and then can have some sort of description, category of the product, and so on. So I'll just go ahead and define the string method there. So define string and then return self dot title there. So inside our admin we need to bring in those models. So from dot models we need to import the item model, the order, then the order item. Then we can call admin.site.register, then we pass in the item, pass in the order there, and the order item. So we can go ahead and specify the list display. So class item admin, so which is just going to be an admin, a model admin. So model admin. In there we can say a list underscore display, which is going to be a list. So for the item we can display the price, or we can just display the title. So copy that, bring that there, paste it there, and make sure we're adding commas right there. And since we'll also need to identify a specific item, we can just say we can add a slug field here and say that will be a slug field. So models dot slug field there, and in the admin where we are displaying inside the item admin, you can specify the pre-populated fields. So pre-populated fields, it is going to be a dictionary, then the key, put the slug, then the slug will come from the title of that specific item. So we have that there, you can save it. Then we need to register the item using the item admin. So that looks good, and if you go ahead and run the server there, sorry about that, it's taking too long to load. So as that loads inside our catalog, we can specify our urls.py. So we can do our urls.py there, and what is up? So inside our admin, this needs to be a tuple like that. So we can run the server again. So everything looks fine. Then we need to make those migrations. So make migrate. Okay, make migrations, not make migrate. So make migrations. We have those migrations there, so we can migrate, then run the server. So everything looks fine. Now we can go ahead and close off all these. Now inside our admin panel, we can go ahead and create some items there. So if you go to the admin /admin there, at the end of that, then we have that we can log in. So these are our three models. If you go to the items, they are currently no items, so we can add an item. Let's just say dummy item 1. The price, we can give it a price of maybe, let's say 200, 250. And another thing, we can say that this discount price, it can be null, so an item can have a discount price or not. So inside our models, we need to, inside the item model, the discount price, we need to specify blank and null as true. So we need to make those migrations. Then we need to migrate and run the server. So everything looks fine. If we come back and refresh, now we can add dummy item 1. We can give it a price of 250, discount price of, let's say, 200. And as you can see, the slug is being pre-populated by default. So we save and add another item, say 2, the price, let's say 200, discount price, I'll leave that alone. Save and add another one, let's say dummy item 3. I'll give it a price of, let's say, 450. Discount price, let's say just 300. Oh no, let's say 400 for that. So we can save that. We have those 3 items there. If we go to the order items, we have none. Orders, we have none. Okay, so if we go back, we'll need to create some templates so that we can render out those items. So I'll be using material MD bootstrap template, e-commerce template for this. So all you need to do is head over to material mdbootstrap.com. So mdbootstrap.com, then we'll need to go to free templates there. So under the free templates, what we need is the e-commerce template. So go ahead and log in or sign up and download that template. So I already have it downloaded, and I'll just bring it into my root directory. So before I bring it into my root directory, I'll create a new directory there and call it templates, and also create another one, call it static. That will house all our static files. So back here inside our e-commerce directory, I already have that template there. So we need these static files. I'll copy them, and inside our static folder in our root directory, I'll paste them there. And the checkout, the home page, and the product page, I'll copy them also. And inside our e-commerce, then templates directory, I'll also paste that there. So we can close off this and that and come and check that out. So inside our static, we have all our statics files. Inside our templates, we have those templates. I'll rename them. So this as checkout, and that as home, and I'll rename that as the product.html. So inside our homepage, we see we have quite a lot in here, but to render this we'll need some views. So let's create some basic views here. We'll just define our home view, takes in a request, then it returns a render that request, and the name of our template, which is home.html, like that. And before we do that, we need to link this templates folder to our root directory. So inside the templates directories, we need to include os.path.join our base directory with the templates folder, so templates, like that. And if we come back and run the server, everything should look fine. So everything is fine. Inside our view, we have that home.html. So inside our URLs in the catalog app, so from Django.urls, we need to import the path function. Then in here we specify the URL buttons as being a list. So path, we specify the empty list, which will just use the home view. So we can import our views. So from .views, we need to import the home view, and inside there, anything that goes to the empty string will use the home view, and then we can give it a name of, let's say, home. Save that. Then inside our root URLs in the ecom, we can get rid of those comments there, and we can specify another path, also goes to the empty string. Then we say we need to include the catalog dot URLs like that. So this needs to be catalog, and we need to import that include function there. So everything looks fine. Now if we go to our root URL, which is that, and so let me just come back, and if we go to our root URL, of course we are not going to get any styling for now, but if we just can come back inside our home.html, and inside these links we need to add a reference to these static files in this static file folder. So like this, static, then that, and make sure that on top we are loading the static. So I'll go ahead and do that for all these links and also the JavaScript files down here, and I'll come back when all that is done. So this is how it looks like. I went ahead and removed the links that are on the right hand side. We have the home link, we can go to the product, and this seems like some sort of detail view. Then we can go to the checkout. In here we can fill our details. We have our promo code form there, credit card, debit card, and whatnot. So I went ahead and you can just look at the views. I added some, let me close that. So inside our views, I added some views, some basic views, just going to those, and inside our URLs. So these are our root URLs. So inside our URLs, I added those paths there, and I also added a base file where all those templates inherited from. So right out of the blue, when you go to the home page, you can see we get some sort of clue of what we should include into our item model. So right here we have the shirt, sportwear, outwear. That seems like the category. We have the title, which you already have. We have the price or the discount price. Then we have this label. So and then we have the pagination there and the footer. So we can go ahead and include those fields inside our models. So for the category and the label, we'll need some choices. So let me add them first. So category, which is just going to be a models dot character field, and we'll need some category choices. So we can specify them here. So category choices, and this is going to be a tuple of tuples, and the first value in the tuple is what is stored in the database, and the one we see is the second value is the one that is displayed. So the first one is the shirt. I can do that for all the categories that we have. We had sportwear, then outwear. so OW, then that can be out, way, and sport, way, like that. And we need to add commas there because these are tuples. So for the category, the choices, so the choices are going to be the category choices, and we can specify max length the same way we have here. So and max length is 2, and for the label it is going to be, so we need to create those label choices. I'll duplicate that, call that label choices, and if we just go back, we have some red label, blue, so we can specify the danger, secondary, and the rest. So S can be, so S, that can be secondary, so secondary like that. Then you have P for primary, and we can have a danger, so danger there, then primary there. So we have that, and the label choices are going to be the label choices there, and max length we can keep as 2. So if you just come back, and if we head over to the product detail page, you see we had this description there, so we can add that to our model. So description, which is just going to be a text field like that. So we can go ahead and make those migrations. So if I just maximize that and stop the server there, make those migrations. So category, I'll provide a default of, let's say, test. Okay, for the category, I'll say, let's say, shirt for now, and for the description, I'll provide a default. So select on there, provide a default of test. Test description like that. And for the label, I'll also provide a default and just say primary for now, and we can migrate and run the server. So everything seems taken care of. So if we go back to our templates inside our home.html, so we'll need only, if you can go back to the main page. So for our products in our database, we'll only need one of these so that we can loop through all those products and create a card for each product that we have. So if I can go back here, get rid of those comments there, clean up there. So instead of using these function-based views, you can switch to class-based views because they just make life easier. So from Django.views, so Django.views dot generic, we need to import the list view, the detail view, so we'll only need those for now, and I'll start putting down those class-based views. So home view like that, it inherits from the list view, and in here we specify the model. So our model will be, and we need to import those models. So from dot models, import the order or the item, and this needs to be an M, so import item, the order, then the order item. So the model here will be the item, and we can specify the template name as being home.html. And so let's go and view that. Inside our home.html, yeah, where we have the, so this is our navbar, we can close that navbar there. Then inside that section we have a grid row and another row, so we can get rid of the bottom row there and get rid of the comments. So inside that row we have a grid column, so if I can just close that column there, so we'll look through each item in our database. So for objects, in object underscore list, we'll return that, and if we just open and clean up this, we have the image there. Then the short is going to be our title, so object.title. Okay, that can be the category, so object.get category display, so get category underscore display, and the title is here, which is the name chart, so that will be our object.title. And danger color, that should be our label color, so you can say object.get underscore label underscore display. And new, we can leave it like that, or we can leave new like that, and we'll figure out how to change it later. So for the price, what we want to say is if there's a discount price, so if object dot discount price, then we can go ahead and display the discount price of that specific object. So add a dollar sign in front of that. That will be object dot discount price. Else, if we don't have a discount price, we just display object dot price. So we can tab that in, get rid of that space there, and that also. So we can clean up all this, and if we come back and view this out, so refresh that, as you can see we have 3 items there, which are the 3 items, and it is not showing the 3 items, the title themselves. So if we just come back and refresh, so we have those 3 items there, we can get rid of them. So for object, in object list, we return a column with a card, and inside that card, if we come back and refresh and the items are not showing, it is because so it is not displaying because inside our views we are still using this function based view. So we can get rid of that and make sure our URLs know about that class based view, replace it there, then say dot as underscore view because it is a class based view. And if we come back and refresh, now we're still getting those items not displaying. It's because inside our home.html it is object list, not objects list. So right now we are getting those three objects or three items displaying. We have the shirt, we have the label, and this new text we can go ahead and change it. So inside our models we can add a status field. So status, which is just going to be a character field, and we can say max length. We can pass in max length as let's say 200 also. And if we come back, stop the server, then make those migrations, and we need to provide a default. So I'll just provide a default of, let's say, new for now, and we can migrate and run the server. So we'll need to go back into the admin to fix those the status and the. So if we go to the items, let's start with dummy item 3. We have the status of, let's say, new product. Category we can put there, then secondary, save that. If you go to dummy item 2, the category we can say it is a trending product. So trending there, it is, let's put it for trending, we can use danger there. Save that. So for dummy item 1, we can leave it as new shirt. We can leave it as the default. So if we come back and refresh, now you see the changes. So we have everything set up pretty well, and in the next video we are going to look at, if we click on this item, how we can add that item to the cart. So to finish off this video is, if we can just come back and inspect, if you go to the image of that specific product, you see it is being served from mdb.com. So what we need to do is, inside our models we can specify an image field. So an image, which will just be a models dot image field, then we can set the default as default.jpg. So default.jpg like that, and then we can say upload to static / images. So images right there. So upload to static images. So we need to go and make those migrations. So make migrations, migrate, and run the server. And inside our settings, we need to specify the static URL and the media URL. So inside here, we specify the static files directories. So static files underscore dars, it's going to be a list. So list.path dot join the base directory with static, because that's where our static files are. So static like that. Then we need to specify the static root. So static root as path dot join the base directory and static files. So static files like that. Then we can specify the media root and the media URL. So media URL, it is just going to be a string of media, and the media root, so media underscore root, it is os.path dot join the base directory with static / images, and that's what is specified inside our models. So inside the root URLs, we need to import the settings module. So from django.conf import settings, so settings and else, and also from django.conf urls.static, we need to import the static. And what we need to say is if we're in debug mode, so if we are still in production, so if settings.debug, so settings.debug, then we can specify URL patterns, and onto that list we need to append the static, and inside there it basically takes this. So if I can copy that and paste it there, so settings.media URL and settings.media root. So you can copy that and also do that for the static. So static like that, settings.static URL and settings.static root. So if we go ahead and run the server, everything should be fine. So has no attribute. Settings has no attribute. Media, and oh, this needs to be media root and media static root. So I forgot that. So static root, and if you go ahead and run the server, yeah, we're still getting everything as fine. So we can go ahead into the admin, and if we go to the items and go to dummy item 3, we can choose an image. So I'll go ahead and just choose that image, save that, go to dummy item 2, choose an image for dummy item 2, let's say that, save that. If you go to dummy item 1, we can also choose an image for that. So let's say that for the image, and save it. So we have those images, but if we go to the home page, of course we are still getting these images right here. We need to go to the template and specify those image URLs. So I'll close that terminal there, and in here where we have the image source, so that will be our object.image, so object.image.url, like that. So if we come back and refresh this, now you see we are getting those 3 images. So I think that is going to do it for this video. In the next video, we'll see how to add these items to the cart and proceed from there. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. I'll see you in the next video.